y'all. Hi y'all. Today's video is going to be a project pan intro. It is for the Emojis project pan, which is a Pantastic Ladies collab Facebook group project pan. Project pan. The links will be in the description. And the creator is Lucy Gonzalez, and I believe she has a Facebook account. I believe she has a YouTube account. Sorry. I believe she has a YouTube account, but I will post her links also down in the description below. So the project pan runs from, and I'm looking at my phone, and that's what that is. So the project pan runs from July 17th, 2023 to July 17th, 2024. So this is a year-long project pan. I picked my products. There is 70. Is it 70? No. This one's, is it 70? God, I can't remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. There's 28 prompts. The 70, I think, is that 70 show. Now I remember. But it's so cute because if you can see, she has like the little emojis kind of helping you with the prompts. It's adorable. It's so well thought out. And it's basically just roulette style. You start with 5. You can choose more if you like, and you set your own goals. So again, right up my alley. All right. So I've picked all of my products currently. We'll go through them on here, but I may at any time just call a Hail Mary and switch it up. And I do have one product. It's a winter theme, which is the there is no list, there is no numbers, so I'm not going to try to know what number it is. But there is a, let's see, where's it at? It should be like cold. Yeah. The cold prompt is a winter themed item. And the only winter themed item I have is my Too Faced Secret Santa eyeshadow palette. And I don't think I have anything else that's winter themed. I really don't, but that may change by the time that comes around, so we'll see. And what I'll probably end up doing is just, I have a wheel app, so I may just put all of the emojis into the wheel app and then roll for the 5 that I'm going to roll in. So we'll just go through the prompts, and then I'll tell you the product that I'm planning to use at this time. Again, also including the question mark with the winter app. All right, so for all right, so with the afraid prompt, it's something that you're afraid won't be done before it goes bad. And on that one, I have figured out, sorry, I'm moving things around on my vanity also because I have it all spread out right here. But I have figured out that me and cream products are just not the best of friends. Like I have a very hard time using up cream products. I have a very hard time just even using cream products because cream products they just don't work for me. I just don't like how they, and it may be a me thing, but I'm just not a super fan of them. So hopefully using them up before they go bad will start prompting me to learn how to better use them to where they do work for me. So my first afraid something will go bad before I use it up will be this Stila. Wait, that's not Stila. There it is. It is the Stila. It is a liquid shadow. And to be honest, I don't even know where I got this. I'm sure it was probably an Ipsy or something because I do not actively search out and buy liquid anything or cream anything. I bet you I just lied to you. For the most part, I don't. But this is Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow, and I mean it still has the plastic on it because I've just never even opened it. So I would like to use this. I haven't set usage for it. I will probably wait to set usages until I know what's rolling in. So this is my afraid product. And the angry product, it's a product you're angry that you didn't buy sooner. I know this video is probably going to go long, so I'm not going to story time in it. But I have hinted and alluded at my intense dislike for e.l.f., the brand e.l.f. Again, it's not as much their products, even though that was the issue. It was more how their customer support handled the entire thing. And I was a major e.l.f. fan. So I don't have very many things, and this I did end up buying here recently, and I kind of, oh God, I kind of hate that I didn't buy it sooner. It is the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Bronzer, and this is just, it is such, and it's a cream. So when I say I don't actively, again, I typically don't actively, but I really expected to buy it, not like it, and give it to my daughter, and that did not happen. But I did put it just right here, and it is just, it's like a perfect shade for me. And it buffs out and it blends out really well. And I did blend it out before I showed you because it was just a brown stripe. So, oh, I'm knocking things over. But yeah, I'm angry that I didn't buy it sooner, but then again, I'm just angry at e.l.f. and I'm trying to get past it. So that is the angry one. The bad emoji is a product that did not work how you expected it to. And for that, I have micellar water. I know everybody says they remove their makeup with this stuff, but I don't know how. I don't get it. I have this Tarte one, and I've only got this much left, so I would ideally like to use it up. But I've kept this on my vanity since it's got nastiness. Don't look at that. But it's been on my vanity since I got it, and I know I got it in either 2020 or 2021 in a boxy, and I was super excited because everybody was talking about micellar water, and I had ended up bought like some of the Garnier, and I ended up giving those to my daughter because she loves it, but it doesn't work as good for me. It's like, it doesn't remove the makeup, and maybe it's not supposed to remove the makeup as good as you expect it, but even when I'm trying to do it, I'll use it as I have, but yeah, once it's gone, I think I'm going to be pretty good. It may be okay for swatches, and that may be what I kind of use it for, is swatches. But yeah, it's a little upsetting because it didn't work the way I expected it to. So, the next one would be bored. So, it is a boring but necessary product. And, I mean, I kind of feel that way about my, I'm trying to find the label there, the Benefit Brow Setter, and it is the clear brow setter, and it has some kind of string or something on it, but I do love how it's like flat, but then really spiked and textured along the edges, and it gives you the ability to really go in there and like floof them out. But it's boring. I mean, a clear brow gel. I'm sorry, but a clear brow gel is a clear brow gel is a clear brow gel. I don't see a whole lot of difference. Another thing that I did buy when I was doing the e.l.f. testing is I've heard a lot of people talk about the Anastasia Beverly Hills, that clear brow freeze, and I was wanting to try it, but I wanted to try the e.l.f. one first because a lot of people said it was a do. And I've tried it, and it's okay, but again, I don't really get it. And it could be because I don't focus on my brows. I probably should. I mean, I really don't. I went through the 90s phase where we plucked them within a hair of their life, so I don't have a whole lot to work with, so that may be why I'm not a big fan of, focusing on my brows. Okay, and then the next emoji is Clever, which is an innovative product in your collection. And I used, and I'm reaching on this one. I know I am. It's a stretch, it's a reach, but it's this Serum Glow filter by Skin Inc. And it supposedly has those little hydro micro capsules. I've used it a time or two. I hope I remember to edit that out. I used them a time or two, but I wasn't super impressed. I mean, so again, it's a reach, but I can't think of anything else. It's really innovative. It's makeup and skincare. Some's great, some's not so great. So, and then the next one is Cold, which is the winter theme, which I don't have a winter theme product to use at the moment. I do have the Secret Santa Too Faced eyeshadow palette, but that's in, let me look. Yeah, that's going to be in the Turn and Burn, which is a project pan that's starting on I want to say the 28th. I could be wrong, but I want to say it's the 28th. And so I don't want to try to use it for two different products. So if it rolls in, I'll figure something out. I'll plow through all of my eyeshadow palettes and see if I can find a shade that says winter theme something. But other than that, I'll just kind of figure it out when it pops up. All right, confused, not sure how to use, and I forgot to grab that one. Hang on. All right, sure I'm in a different spot, but it's fine. This is the product that confused me, and it's because, again, a brow product. So one thing I like a lot is Friends. And so, yeah, you're getting to see all the glory that is behind me. But it says Joey doesn't share food, which is a funny phrase that we say a lot around here. And it has little brushes, and it's like a brow product. And I've never really used this type of brow products. I have a few pomades and stuff like that, but I've never focused on using them. All right, so, yeah, I've just never focused on using them, so I want to try to use that one. Again. And the next one would be Excited. Something you couldn't wait to own. I have my stuff together today because I didn't grab it yet either, so give me 1 second. Okay, so a product I could not wait to own was the Modern Renaissance by ABH. I had bought her Sultry palette when it had come out, and they were just fixing to put it right back in the vault, and so they had it's the little, I have it over there, but I'm not going to grab it because I've already paused like a bajillion times, but it had like the pink sparkly 2-drawer, and on the top was the Sultry palette, and then below was like the eye primer, the mascara, and I want to say like an eyeliner or something. And so I bought that. And that is hands down one of my more favorite palettes. Like, it is probably one of my most used palettes that I've actually consistently used. So whenever I started seeing reviews and stuff on this one, I had to have it, and I finally got my hands on it. And so, excuse me, it was my most excited palette that I couldn't wait to own. And I think you can see one little fingerprint right there in that one where I touched it, just because I had to touch it. But I'm pretty sure, nope, I have used it, because you can see, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it has the little faint, you know, where you touch it with a brush, but it's not super used, so that's this one. So I guess I have used it once, but just one time. So that's the product that I couldn't wait to own. All right, a product that is just fine. I will use it, but I would never repurchase it again. And that would be, I am not a huge fan of Makeup Revolution. I loved BH Cosmetics before they went bankrupt. I'm not a fan of Makeup Revolution. I love affordable drugstore product. What I love even more is finding great deals on better quality products, but I do know that some drugstore is just as good or almost just as good, and I don't mind that. But I am a very picky person when it comes to eyeshadows and stuff like that. This is not eyeshadow. It is the Makeup Revolution Lion King Heart of a Lioness, and it's a highlighter. That's what it says, but that is more like a blush topper for me. It does not look like a highlighter. It is super pigmented for a highlighter. And I mean, you can't tell it on my skin, but it really comes off very pink. So I figure I'll just use it as a blush topper. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of most all of affordable, drugstore. I'm just not a huge fan of drugstore powder formulas most of the time. There are a few exceptions. e.l.f., as much as I hate to say it, does have some really, really great formulas. But there are drugstore eyeshadow brands and powder products that I just won't own, just because it's a waste of money for me to buy something I don't enjoy and like using. And so I thought, you know, with this one it would be okay, but it's fine. It's fine, but I wouldn't repurchase it. And I won't repurchase much of anything of Makeup Revolution as far as like powder products go. All right, so now that that tangent is done, the another Makeup Revolution, here we go, my brain. Okay, another, okay, Happy is the next emoji, and it is another Makeup Revolution product, but it's the Friends, and I bought these more for their packaging than for the products inside. But I do want to kind of use them because I really do want to change my, okay, look, I haven't even, it is stuck. I am not taking that off. I mean, it's just tape. Well, I'm going to just keep it on there till I use it. But it is the upside down. It is a very pretty palette. It's very pretty shadows. And it's the Joey phrase. It says, I like it. What's not to like? Custard good, jam good, meat good. So we love Joey. He's our favorite character. And so whenever I seen this, I had to buy it. And I did buy multiple things from Makeup Revolution's Friends collection. As a matter of fact, one second, because I'm not going to... This was the beginning and the end of it all. Because I tell my husband all the time that he's my lobster. So when I seen that they had this big old beautiful mirror, I had to have it. And that was the start of, because I have that mentality also of, well, I'm going to make order. Might as well make a good order. So I do want to use this one. I haven't picked a shade or anything like that. Once it rolls in, I'll figure out goals. All right, and the Hot, which is a summer-themed emoji. I picked a BH Cosmetics, which I do like BH Cosmetics eyeshadow formula. It is one of the more affordable drugstore type ones that I do like, and I realize that's upside down. There we go. But this is the Hanging in Hawaii one, and I like it. I depotted the summer in I'm not even going to try. I depotted that one, so it's in a singles palette somewhere over there. So I did just go ahead and pull this one in just for sake of pulling it in. And I also am doing to where I want to hit a pan in every palette. And that does include my little Makeup Revolution ones. And there are a couple of color pops that I'm not a huge fan of. So I do want to hit pan in those because at least if I've got one pan in those palettes, then I know I've at least given it a fair shot. And if I still don't like it, then that's fine. So this one, again, goals will be figured out and everything once it's rolled in. I'm going to have to try to rearrange some of this because I feel like it's just getting out of control. I don't like mess. It stresses me out. I like everything to be neat and tidy, and it's not. So, try to straighten it out a wee bit. I think, set this one over there, and this one goes over there, and this one goes over there, and this one goes over there. All right. We're good now. All right. The next one, I am hot. The next one, okay, the next one is Late. A product to use when you're in a hurry. Now, if I'm in a hurry, I'm going to try to just have to reach for one thing. So this is kind of like what I would just grab if I'm just wanting to stand at my makeup, or, oh, that's the wrong one. If I want to just stand at my bathroom counter and just do a quick face of makeup, I would grab my Z palette here of Ofra singles. And it was a palette that I depotted, and I put the ones that I really love here and different ones in different places. So I found that Ofra highlighters are way too highlightery for me, but they make amazing, like, shimmer shades. So I would use this palette. I would lightly use this one for a highlighter. I would use this one and this one. This one and this one would be on my eye. This would be in the crease. This would be all over the lid. I would probably just throw that on my face to give it some color and to even it out. The cheeks, the contour, and that's it. All I would need after that is some mascara and a lip, and I'd be good to go for just a quick look. So this is what I would grab if I am just quick, fast, and in a hurry to get things done. And this is one of my Shop Miss A Z palettes, and I have several of them, and these are some good sturdy, I mean, this is a sturdy Z palettes. So, I mean, if you're looking for a big Z palette, get this one. They have little ones also, which I will show you what's inside. This one's empty because I'm going to use it later. But they're just as sturdy for being a smaller palette. The only thing I don't like is you can't evenly fit certain things. But again, $7 I think, and like $5. And if you catch it on sale or you have a coupon code, I mean, you can do it even better. But these are amazing Z palettes. And I would buy them again and again. And I probably will. Okay, let me get a sip. All right, the next one would be Hungry. A food themed item. And I had mentioned this palette that I had just got from TJ Maxx or Marshalls. I think it was Marshalls this time. They're so interchangeable. I can't never keep up with them. Oh yeah, it is Marshalls. It says right there. But I got the Urban Decay Wild Greens. I got the I got it at Marshall's. It was like $17. I have had a bad experience with Urban Decay, so this is my second palette that I've ever owned. The first one got decluttered very fast, but it has a shade. I believe it's this one right here, and it's called Kale. And that's the shade that I will be working on, is Kale. There's turmeric, which is, you know, a food product, and I have a few other. There's super greens. I have a few other food product names that could have brought in, but I really want to use this. To be honest, I used it the day I got it. I was pretty happy with it. It's not super pigmented, and maybe I'm just not doing it right. That's very possible, but I mean, I was happy with it. I really liked it. So I will use that one. That's the one I want to use. All right. The next one is Hurt, and that is a product's packaging that is broken. And I have depotted them to my Makeup Forever little Z palette that I also bought and was wildly disappointed with. They're great made, they're sturdy, they're heavy duty, they've got a great little mirror on them, but they are very small, and I did not anticipate them to be that small. I'm going to be very careful with this. This is the shimmers that I saved from several of my Natasha Denona 5-pan palettes that have since been broken and everything else. So, and the shades, I mean, I don't know if you can tell. I don't want to tip them, but they've taken a beating, and there's a piece of one over there. So they've taken a beating. So these, again, usage will be determined, but this will be my hurt and broken package. All right, the next one is In Love, which is a loved theme product, and there could have only been one thing ever brought in for a love theme product, and that is the Natasha Denona Mini Love palette. Well, I mean, the only other thing could have been if I had her Full Sail Love palette, but this is what I have, and it is brand new, untouched. I have not even swatched it or anything because I'm a hoarder. So, we're breaking that tendency. So this is the palette I use. I will say whenever I do pick this one and I do settle on the usage and everything like that, it will be how many looks I create using that palette. Kind of like I'm doing my Glam palette. I don't want to just touch in it 1 or 2 times. It's however many looks. So if I do just use it one time, then it will be one look. And if I use all of them, that's one look. So that's what that'll be. All right. Next is Mad. I think my daughter's in there banging around on her bed. Her room is literally on the other side of my beauty room. Mad. Something Red. Now, red lipstick and I love it, and I think other women pull it off and they look flawless. Oh my God, I'm so jealous because they look beautiful. But I always look like I'm just like painted my lips with a bright neon look at me sign, and that makes me slightly uncomfortable half the time. So I'm trying to get out of that bad habit also. So I picked and I just got this in a Walmart, the Walmart beauty box, and I picked the NYX Red Smooth Whip Lip, and it is a matte lip cream. I love lip creams. They're my favorite. Oh, what's going on with the color there? My color. I may want to hurry. Sun's going down. I think my lighting is going bad. But anyhow, so the red, and I want to use this. I don't know how many times. Again, I'm not going to open it. It's not been opened. I'm not going to open it until it's rolled in and I already settle on usages, because if I use it, then I'll be like, oh, let's do 2 uses. So I'm not going to settle that. I may even do a app roll, dice roll, something to figure it out. And the next one would be the Nervous, which is an impulse buy. And this is 100% was an impulse buy. And that is the Estate Bailey Sarian Venice Fling eyeshadow palette. And now this is beautiful. I just jammed my finger in it. Great. But this is the palette, and it is beautiful. It has some very neutral, beautiful shades. I know y'all keep seeing me peek over it because I'm looking to make sure I'm in screen. But it has some very beautiful shades. This is a bright, bold pop of color. It's not red like it looks like. It's more of an orange. And then I was looking down in my mirror too. And then this is a bright pop of color. But if you covered this one, and this one, this is like every other shade I own. And that is right in my alley. So it was an impulse buy because I didn't think, I just bought. But I don't regret it. It is a gorgeous palette and I cannot wait to start using it. Alright, so the next one would be Quiet, which is a lip product. And I brought in I will be bringing in, there we go, the Sugar Crush Tarte Sugar Coat. And it is a really pretty, kind of like a cream also. It's like a very creamy type of product. It is, God, it's so pretty. I love this thing. I really do, but I just don't use it as much because I'm so overwhelmed with lip products. Like, I want to go through my lip products and get rid of a lot of them because there's some. I love Natasha Denona. I don't know that anybody that's known me for any amount of time is not going to know that. I have a drawer full of Natasha Denona stuff. I have palettes of Natasha Denona. I have lip products. I even bought a foundation. I love her stuff. However, her lip products are not where it's at. I do not like them. They dry my lips out. They're very uncomfortable. They make you feel like you're wearing a lipstick. I don't like that in a lipstick at all. So I really need to start working to whittle down my makeup collection. And hers are some of the first ones I'm depotting, and it breaks my heart. It kills my soul. So that's the one I want to use. Again, I don't know usage and stuff. We'll figure that out as we go. All right, and the next one is Sad, Something Blue. Now, this one I have to be very careful with because one of my shades is already fell out a time or two, and it is a Stila palette. Again, sorry about the reflective covering, and I'll try to hold it at an angle, but this is the shade that I'm going to be working on from this Stila palette, and it is the Blue Realm eyeshadow palette. And I want to work on the blue shade, which is, I believe it's the one called Reveal. It's either Reveal or Discover. I'm going to go with Reveal because that's how you look at it, like it's over here and it's over here. See what I'm saying? So I'm going to say Reveal. And that's the one I'm going to be working on, which is wildly out of my comfort zone because I am not a blue eyeshadow kind of gal. All right, and then the next one is Scared. Now, this one scares me on multiple occasions, but it's a Halloween theme. And what is more Halloween-y than Gather Round Sisters ColourPop Hocus Pocus eyeshadow palette? And I have only touched this thing a couple times. I do not like this one right here at all. It's way too flaky and glittery, so I will probably just act like that doesn't exist. But I've only used it a couple times, and I went nuts for this palette because Hocus Pocus is one of my all-time favorite Halloween type movies, and I had to have it, and then I got it, and I got in that mindset of, oh God, it's so pretty. I can't use it. I can't dirty it up. I can't mess it up. I can't ruin it. What if I use it and it's all gone? What if I don't have it? You know what I mean? So trying to break the pattern, but that's this one. So this one I want to use. And again, I think it's going to be similar to the Glam palette and the other full-scale eyeshadow palettes that I'm using. Unless it's something I specified in the rules, if I want to touch each pan XYZ amount of times, then it will be however many looks I create. So if I roll 10, I want to use this palette and create 10 looks with it. So that's what that one's going to be. All right, we are coming-ish to the end, I promise. All right, and the next one is Shy, a blush product. And again, where did it go? There it is. It is, yep, my sun is setting fast. All right, so it is a product, a blush product, which is the Iconic London. It is the Iconic London Liquid Blush. Again, me and liquid products, we're not friends. We're barely acquaintances. I'm pretty sure they're that distant cousin that, you know, you try to ignore. But that's them. It is a beautiful product. It really is. And it shears out almost to non-existent. So it shouldn't be too hard to use it. That's the one I'll use. Again, we'll pick usages after I roll them in. And then Sick or Eel, which is something green. And that is going to be, yes, in my Makeup Geek Z palette, which I just got these delivered. So I may have to try to condense them down into one of my smaller Z palettes so I'm not wasting a whole lot of space. I was supposed to get more, but some stuff was out of stock, and I'm still waiting to get a response because they marked it out on my order sheet and wrote the word refund, but they didn't issue the refund. And it took over a week to get here, of actual after it was shipping, which is fine. I know they're busy, but if you mark it out and you know you're going to refund, they should refund. So I reached out, and I haven't heard from them. But of course, it is the weekend, so, you know, I'll give it till Monday or so, and then I'll contact them again if I don't hear back from them. But so this shade, right, let's go back over here. This one right here, this light mint color, which I think may work well with the Kale. So that may be a good look with the Kale, kind of make them both work together. So that's the one that I want to work on with this one. So that would be my Eel, Sick or Eel item. And then the next is the Sleepy item, which is a item that you used at night. Now this one was going to originally be in my Turn and Burn project pan because of how teeny tiny it is. But it is one of the few things that I have that are night products, and if it is anything like my little Drunk Elephant oil, I think that thing is never going to end because I've been using it and it feels like forever, and you just have to use like 1 or 2 little dots. So this thing may take a while. So that's what I want to use for the Sleepy one. And then Surprise is an item or a product that you didn't expect to like. Now, I love Complex Culture. Well, that just fell. I love Complex Culture's makeup brushes. Theirs is some of my more favorite makeup brushes. Their eyeshadow palette, they may well just rebrand themselves as CoverGirl because I am not a fan of their eyeshadow palette. Their blushes and cheek products, it kind of goes both ways. So whenever I got their, oh, there's the lid. And there's the shade. When I got this in my boxy shade F120, I was like, well, that's going to be crud. I ain't going to want to use that. I'm telling y'all. This, and it's super pale, but it blends out beautifully. It is a great highlight shade. I mean, it is super pale, but it blends right out, and it is one of my more favorite concealers. I'm pretty sure, didn't I hear that Complexion Culture, which is I think Ipsy, they did this brand, right? But didn't they close that brand down? I thought they did. I'm pretty sure I heard that they had closed Complex Culture, which really makes me sad because I love this stuff. This is, I'm telling you, the only other concealer that I can think that I like as well as this one, there's 2 others. One of them is Anastasia Beverly Hills Concealer, which I love that stuff. And then the other one is in this project pan also. Yeah, it's the last product. It's in this project pan also, and it's drugstore. And I'm telling you, like, those 3, I could just have those 3 for the rest of my life and be completely happy. I was highly impressed with that concealer. It was hands down amazing. And it is hydrating. It does not dry out. I mean, like, it blends in. Witchcraft. That's what it is. All right. And then Disappointed, an item that was overhyped that didn't work. Now, this is a little bit of a stretch because I do have a few products that I feel are overhyped and that other people just rave about and love, like the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. I'm not a huge fan. It's one of those products that I'll use it up, but I probably would never just buy another one again. But another thing for me is dry shampoo. My hair does not like dry shampoo. This bottle I've had for ages. It smells good. It smells like coconuts. It smells good, but it's probably at least right here. And I've tried giving it to my daughter, and her hair is just like mine, so she can't really use them, so it just sets. But I'd love to just use it up and get rid of it. Now, I could just declutter it, but it just makes my hair unmanageable. My hair don't get super oily until it does, and then when it does, there's just no saving it. Like, you should have washed your hair yesterday, girl. So it doesn't work great for me. I can use it, and I will use it, so hopefully putting it in this project pan makes me use it. But dry shampoos in general just don't work for me. So it's really not anything product related, because it is a good product, but it's not a good product for me. And then I'm going to get another drink so I can get my eyes situated here. Oh, the next one is upset. And I am wildly upset. My favorite Holy Grail go-to favorite primer of all time is the L'Oreal. It is so dirty. Y'all gotta ignore that. It is the L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base. And Jen Phelps got me on this stuff. Oh, it smells so good. It doesn't have a super strong scent at all. But you can just very faintly smell it, and I love the way it smells. But she got me on this. She was talking about it in one of her videos a long time ago. I'm talking maybe 2020, 2021. And I had my husband stop. It was during COVID, because I had my husband stop and buy me one. And I'm surprised there is that much usage. And that was just me forcing myself to use it because I didn't want it to go to waste. And it is just, it blurs your pores. We all have texture, especially when we're aging, and it just blurs your pores so beautifully. And now they've discontinued it. Literally, I just heard about that the other day. And I don't want to use it, but I need to because it's getting old. And I did hear, again from Jen Phelps, that the e.l.f. Liquid Putty Primer was an amazing primer. So as begrudgingly as I'm going to, I want to try that primer to get my own opinion. But I do take her opinion on a lot of things, because I feel like she's a dry gal too, so I feel like that kind of puts it like it's possible it could work for me, but I still got to try it on my own. All right, and my hand, I mean, those products are gorgeous. It doesn't look as good on the camera, but I mean, they just look really good. Okay. So, Tired product. It is a product you use when you relax. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a shocker, because y'all's going to see this and be like, relax? Are you crazy? But it is the e.l.f. and it is the Baby Facial. And it's because whenever I have this on, I can't have my glasses on, so I can't watch TV. I can't mess around on my phone. I usually just put it on and just sit down and think of my own thoughts, which is usually a pretty, like, oh my God, time for me. But I do try to relax and everything like that. So when I am doing the peeling solutions and stuff is my only real downtime, because otherwise I'm a go, go, go type of person. So this would be my Tired product used to relax. And then finally, last but not least, and then I'm going to have to take a little bit of a breather because it is hot as Hades in this room. I'm going to let that AC go for a little bit while I organize my vanity and get the wheel set up. But next is, and the final one is Worried, which is a product you think will never end. Now, while I say it that way, it is not begrudgingly that I think will never end, because when I do end it, I'm going to go buy another one, because this is one of my favorite concealers. But it is the L'Oreal, ooh, where are we going? There we are. L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Concealer. And this is literally the perfect shade for me. It is not a, I'm trying to find a spot on my finger. It is not a highlighting. It is just, I'm going to conceal some stuff with this. And it literally is a perfect shade match. And it covers and conceals, and it doesn't really emphasize texture. I love this concealer. It is one of the first concealers that I got, and it is hands down one that I will buy over and over and over again. And I really love it. I really, really love it. So But I think it's never going to end because I use it semi-regularly. Of course, as you can see, I just barely did any, and it is spreading everywhere. So a little dab will do you. So yeah, it's like it's never going to end, and you can see I've got some good windowing because it'll set like this between uses. And that is the products that I'm going to use in this project pan. Now, I will pause the video, pray my sun does not completely evaporate, because otherwise I'll have to turn on the mirrors, which, let me see how bad that's going to be. Well, I mean, y'all would have a hard time seeing my eyes, but that may be how it's going to have to go, because the lighting is fading fast. Maybe that one would be better. And then I could maybe step back, but then I feel like I'm so impersonal, like way back here, away from y'all. So anyways, I'm going to do those, and I will do those. I will get it put in the wheel. I will, that sounded weird, not W-I-L-L, W-H-E-E-L. I will get it put in the wheel app, and then I will get ready to spin, and then as we go, we will figure it out. And I know this is a super long video, so thank you guys for sticking around. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will be right back with my wheel app. All right, I'm finally back. That took a little bit longer, and I probably wasn't mad at it because I got to cool the room down. We're going to start with 5 projects. So this is my wheel. We're going to tap it to spin. And the first one is Mad. All right. I'm going to see how I can, because I'm pretty sure you can. Let's see. I want to make it where I want to make it where it doesn't pick that one again. Oh my goodness. Surely there's got to be a way that you can duplicate of too few items, remove winner after spin. There we go. Surely that's not going to, like, remove it forever, right? Okay. I'm asking y'all like y'all know. You may know. You may. I'm new to this app. All right. So I'm just going to kind of color in. I'm just going to kind of color in the square for that item, and then we'll go to it. All right. So the next one. It did not remove Mad. So that's interesting. Disappointed. So let's go color Disappointed. Oh, it's at the bottom. Yeah, it was one I was like, I know. Okay, but yeah, it's at the bottom. All right, so Disappointed. So one more again. Bored. All right, and Bored is my Benefit Brow product. All right, so let's do this one. That's the third. This is number 4. Happy. All right, Happy. Oh, Jam good. Jam's good. All right. Oh. Nope. Here we go. Sorry. All right, and then the final item. Angry, which is good because Mad was right beside it that they did not remove. All right, so then Angry. So the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. All right, so the 5 items that I will be rolling in this time will be the e.l.f. Luminous Primer, or no, Luminous Bronzer, and then the Benefit... I tried not to clean off my desk too much so all of my items would still be here, but did I get overzealous? I may have gotten overzealous. Let's... All right, we're just going to say that the Benefit, because I don't see it. There it is. It's staring me right in my face. This one, I'm going to say 12 uses. That seems so low. We're going to say 12 uses and or empty because I really don't think it has a whole lot left in it. I have had this one for a little bit, and then my daughter used it for a little bit, and then she gave it back, and so I'm using it again. So either 12 uses or empty. And then we'll say for the e.l.f. bronzer, do I have other bronzers and other project pans? I think I do. I know I do. So we will say 6 uses. We'll say 6 uses on the bronzer. Whatever I said, because my brain's already moved past that. Or use up on this one. And the next is Jam Good. Now, I don't even come close to imagining that I would hit pan on any one shadow in here. So if I just focused, I don't really want to just focus on one though. How about we do this? I'm gonna go a bit Rambo here. I'm gonna use all of the eyeshadow, not all of them. I would like to use all of these at least one time in a look, and then I want to probably use this one and this one. Let's go with, other than the one look for all of them, we'll go with 4 times each. And they can count the look because I think I'm going to be overzealous here. So one look, once in a look for all of them, except for these 2 would be 4 uses. So that's what we're going to go with on that one because I feel like I just maybe stubbed my toe on that. And then, the next one is this. Of course it is. Of course it's this one. So we are going to say, gosh, and it's summer. I mean, does red really go in the summer? I was going to open it, but I'm not going to open it and develop an opinion yet. So we're going to go 3. I know that's wimpy. I know it is. But I don't wear reds very often, and I'm trying to get there, but we'll go with three uses. We'll go with 3 uses on this. So, yeah. And then the dry shampoo, I really wanted to use it up, but if it's the very first thing in, and I want to try to get through these, and if you do the math, 28 prompts, 5 prompts per roll-in, you can do more, but 5 prompts per roll-in, that would be 12 months. That's 6. If you go through all your products, that means something cannot sit in your month for more than 2 months without really throwing you out of whack. Yeah, I'm a numbers geek. So I'm going to say with this, 6 uses. I'm going to say if I can use this 6 times, that would be good, and then we can roll it out and it can be in a different project pan on another day. All right, so that is finally the end of the Emoji project pan. I am super excited for this. I'm super excited to be uploading to YouTube. I'm excited to get to, sorry, my nose is itching. I am super excited to be uploading to YouTube. I am very excited to start to get to know everybody, to get really, really involved in the project panning community, to really devote and enjoy uploading and bringing y'all content. I want to do hauls. I want to do get ready with me's, favorites, least favorites, empties. I don't do really low buy, no buy. I have a shopping addiction, a very clear shopping addiction, especially by the vast number of stuff that I bought. And not just makeup related, like all the stuff, clothes, hair, shoes, makeup, purses, planners. I'm going to quit talking about that. I get depressed. So, but I don't feel like I really need to go on a low buy. I now am getting more into knowing what does and doesn't work for me. So I don't usually go too far off the reservation, and I keep it well within what I consider to be a acceptable budget. So low buys may not be anything that I'm going to do right now. I'm not going to say I won't do it in the future because, you know, that's something that is always going to be up for debate. And I do like the concept of emptying, like however many empties are out is how much you can bring into your collection. And I really do like that. I do like trying to even it out because realistically nobody needs this much makeup. I know that. We all know that. We still do it because we enjoy it and it's something we enjoy, and it's better makeup than other things. So I do like the thought of that, and I keep a detailed spreadsheet on Google Sheets of all of my numbers of what's in, what's out, what's decluttered, what's not decluttered, and everything like that. Same with my project pans. So maybe those type of videos could come. I really, really look forward to this journey, and I am very excited about it, and I am very excited for y'all to join me on it. And so, yeah, do all the stuff. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I will comment back. I may comment back more because I like send these big old letters because I also write and stuff. So, yeah, that's going to be it. I hope your project pans are going well. Use up all y'all's makeup, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.